Katra. She is the professor of School of Business, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Katra. She has worked as associate professor with School of Business with the same organization, assistant professor for the same organization, and she has been a visiting faculty at Indian Institute of Management, Jammu too. She has also worked as a lecturer in PG Department of Commerce in GGS Khalsa College, Sarhali. Ma'am has lot of administrative experience also. She has been head school of business. She has been associate dean of students with SMV DU University. She has to her credit PhD research supervisions for about 6 to 7 students, and she has also guided some PG dissertations under her supervision. She has a book published under her supervision, and she has number of research publications. It is approximately 20 to 25 research publications ma'am is having. She has also done her contribution in edited books with 3 chapters, and she has also completed various research projects funded by different universities and organizations like AICTE, ICSSR, and other organizations. Ma'am has got so many of the prestigious awards also. She has conducted number of programs for training, faculty development programs she has attended, and she has delivered talks, 92 talks in different conferences and seminars. She has recently participated in number of national and international conferences also. So there's a lot to speak about you, ma'am, and we are highly obliged that you are amongst us and you are helping us with this the topic which is very new, that is servant leadership and ethical leadership. So we are here to listen to you, ma'am. So the dice is all yours now. We welcome you once again, and we are ready to be with you for this session.
Thank you so
Over
much
to
for
you,
your
ma'am.
kind words. So I'll be sharing my PPT. I'm not able to share my PPT. Let me try again. My slide is, you are able to see my slides.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much. The topic which have been given to me is servant leadership and ethical leadership in Indian tradition. Uh, just to start with the concept, we normally say when we are talking about the leader is best when people barely knows that he exists, and when his work is done, his aim are fulfilled, and they will say that we did it ourselves. So the presence of leadership, the presence of leader, that leader is considered to be best, whose presence is not being, you can say that who, the other people don't know that he or she exists there. So at the end of the work, when the thing has been done, the conclusion is that the outcome is that the proposition will be that it is not me who has done it, it is we who have done it. When we are taking into account the servant leadership concept, the servant leader is servant first. Uh, Actually, it begins with the when we are saying about the servant leadership, it begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve and to serve first. So that conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead. So servant leadership is basically uh, Robert Griefleaf who introduced the concept of servant leadership, and this Robert Griefleaf introduced the concept of the servant leadership in 1970.
Robert
There was a
Green,
there was a
Greenleaf.
there was a servant. He has written a one kind of book, or we can say one kind of essay, which was entitled as "Servant as a Leader." So that short novel title was "Journey to the East." So the short novel was all the things which describes about the servant leadership. Basically, that short novel was about the that how one person has done the things, that how that person has achieved so many things, and how that person has guided the people. And then when that person was not present, everybody was with this impression that they are not able to do it. So that is the concept of servant leadership, where the Robert Grief introduced coined this concept. So the servant leader, as I mentioned, the servant leader will consider himself or herself as servant first. The short novel which I was talking about, the story was about Leo, who has portrayed this concept, because the Leo which I was talking about, the short novel, that Leo was the person who was guiding the people without any, you can say, the self interest. And that guidance by the Leo for all the people, that was not with self interest. So he was taking the extra lead, he was making the extra effort to guide, to help the people, and he was doing so many things for them. And at the end, when the Leo was not present, Leo was, you can say that Leo was not visible to those people, they felt that they felt themselves into some kind of crisis or chaos kind of condition. So that is what the concept of servant leadership emerged. So that servant leader focuses on the needs of the other. They always acknowledge other person's perspective, and they give them the support whenever they need, and they build a sense of community also. So, if you just read the story of this servant leadership, as Greenleaf has mentioned, so he has concluded that he has concluded that a great leader must first of all become a servant. This was the outcome of his story. And when that person get the experience as servant, then that is the central point which makes him or her to which moves him or her towards the greatness. So servant leader need to be attentive to the concerns of the followers. They empathize with them, they nurture them, they place good of the followers over their own self-interest. And we have a lot of examples like the servant leader in the recent past also. Ajim Ji Premji, Ratan Tata, Swami Vivekanand, Ryan Murthy. So we have a lot of examples relating to this. So servant leader focuses first on the growth and well-being of their employees as a means of achieving success for the different stakeholders who are directly or indirectly related with them. So this is how we differentiate between the servant leader and the traditional leadership. When we are saying about the servant leadership, uh, servant leadership, traditional leadership, where the top management is being kept at you can say that at a higher level. When we are saying about the servant leadership in any organization, the lowest level, that is the employees, they are being kept at the top level. So servant leadership emerge that you have to take into consideration, you have to put the employees interest at the top as compared to anybody's interest. Whereas in case of traditional leadership, the board of directors or the top management interest is being kept at the top as compared to anything else. So I was just talking about the historical basis of servant leadership. As I mentioned, Greenleaf, the credit for the servant leadership, for formulation of servant leadership, is has been given to the Greenleaf, where in his novel of Journey to East, he has portrayed this concept of servant leadership. So he has portrayed this concept of servant leadership in through this novel, where he has portrayed that how the social responsibility is required on the part of the leader, which makes him or her to be a socially responsible. And that is how the servant leader is not taking into consideration any kind of inequality, or not taking into consideration any kind of discrepancy relating to caste or grade, but is treating all the people with a social justice. So even in case of the Bible also, if we just take into consideration the Bible also, uh, this there are many passages in the Bible also which depict the servant leadership qualities of the Jesus Christ also.